A laxative.
So it's like we never skipped a beat. This is part 2. We are back live right here from Steam Pub, this Heat Ratio Live. Listen, sometimes things happen. There's definitely a ghost in here, boys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I think right now that we finally got it and we're back, something was going on with the feed. We had to mess with a couple things here and there. I just couldn't take it anymore. We were like 30 minutes in. Number one, my ears were ringing to the point of I wanted to smack my head up against a wall, and I wanted to throw my phone across Street Road and 2nd Street Pike if I got another text message but I can't hear. But no.
I was about to jump behind Al.
That was like, what's going on here? What's going on? We are back again. Heat Ratio Sports. Make sure you give us a follow at Heat Ratio Sports. Make sure you follow at Steam Pub. Again, the best place in Bucks County to get a beer, to get some food. Again, we're watching the Sixers game right now. We got a little live draft, a little live basketball party going in. But again, don't text me. It's cool. But again, if anybody watching, check us out. Tell me, look, see Adam ace in the hole says sounds great. I think we got it. I think we finally got it. So we're good. So listen, we touched
Forget about everything we said.
Wait, Nicky Nuts goes, FYI, the Flyers suck.
Oh, wow.
Nick, yeah, we definitely know.
We just saw them live.
Yo, Trevor. Trevor, what's up, buddy? We had a little technical difficulty. We're going to use the new Audacity production engineer to help us out with the sound, but figure it out. Sometimes you unplug or replug, and FYI, not a sexual innuendo, but when we do that, we're good to go. So, again, at Heat Ratio Sports, we talked a little Super Bowl recap. We were talking a little Eagles, a little Russell Wilson talk. But for the real deal, let's talk about the Sixers. And again, we're watching the Sixers right now because today, listen, we did a show Tuesday, and we talked about it, what would happen. Now, I'm going to be the one to say, hey, I told you this was going to happen. Everybody said, I don't know, I don't see it, maybe not. Listen, there was too much smoke for there not to be any fire, man. Too much smoke not to be any fire because we know that the Sixers are so close. Closer than they've ever been. And I'll be honest, boys, I cannot go through another second-round exit. I just can't do it. Not when you're big, man. It's absolutely obliterating the competition. So, obviously, we know. We're going to do this in a couple parts. I got some sound clips, some sound bites from the press conference from both Ben and Joel. So, look, Adam says Harden's at the game tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
He's on the bench.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's what it's all about.
After you go to the press conference today, how can you not come to the game?
Al, listen, we've been through this before. The Delilah's could have called his number. You never know, right? You don't know. So you got to be very careful because you just never know. But no, in all seriousness, listen, I still am trying to find out the people that say this was a bad deal. Okay? And the only reason why, and again, I am not saying that it didn't make Brooklyn a better team. I'm not saying that it didn't make them a little deeper or anything of that matter. What I'm saying is, here is what the most realistic thing we have to say. No matter what, Ben was not playing in Philadelphia. Okay? So Al, we could sit here and we can watch Ben go off in Brooklyn and be this unbelievable player. Doesn't matter. He was never going to do it here. So as much as we want to say that, it wasn't going to happen here. So you had to get something. And kudos to Morey for holding out and not giving away the assets. Right? Everybody, myself included, I called him a fraud. Okay? Because I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're going to wait till the summer? Right? You're going to wait till the summer? So Alan checking in says, and again, Alan, I respectfully disagree. I respect your opinion as a fan. He says, I hate they gave up too much. Would have loved to keep Drummond and maybe get a second back. Here's well, I'm going to go to you because you are the basketball guy. Okay? Here's the thing about Andre Drummond. I love Drum. Okay? And I'm not X_Drummond like from our HRS and Yahoo Sports and Gabler guy. Okay? Because we love Drum. But I love Andre Drummond. But here's the thing. You cannot hold up a franchise-altering move because of Andre Drummond, especially when you're going to have a buyout market, okay? And you're going to have guys like Enos, don't call me Mr. Cancer, okay? But, you're not going to have even a guy like Tristan Thompson, even a guy that can be serviceable. Andre Drummond, yes, great move. But again, remember all this also. He was not going to be back here next year.
Absolutely.
Right? Al, he was going to get at least a 2-year deal.
100%. That was part of what I was going to say.
There you go. You're up.
100%. You cannot, he had less than 0% of coming back. He's played absolutely out of his mind this year. You think he was going to take another veteran minimum? That wasn't going to happen. You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So I've been hearing this since the trade has happened. So let's do a little review, folks.
Little Al review.
Everybody and their grandma last year wanted to do the trade for Harden, Debacle, Maxey, and 2 first rounds. That's what they wanted to do. And Ben, they had no problem giving up all of those people for Harden last year. And by the way, the same thing for Ben. After that didn't happen, everybody said, all right, I'm tired of this. I'm done. I'm tired of waiting. Just give Ben away for a 24-pack of Deer Park water. That's all they didn't care at a certain point. They could care less of what we got back. Just get rid of Ben. I don't care anymore. I need him. I want him. I just don't want to see him on our bench. I don't want him to be a Sixer anymore. We gave up Seth Curry. I understand that. I understand. And then people went crazy last night because he had 24. I know.
Wait a minute. Did we give up Steph or Seth?
Seth.
All right, because people were acting like we gave up Steph.
Seth. Yeah,
All
exactly. Exactly. So we know who he is. We know he consistent scorer. Calm down, folks. You have to give up something to get something. Drummond has 0 shot of coming back. So now that's 2 people. And then Ben, like my partner said, he didn't want to be here anymore. He didn't want to come back. I love Ben, and I'm always going to follow him when he's not playing the Sixers. I'm still going to be a big fan of him. Anytime he's playing, I'm going to watch. But he didn't want to be here anymore for whatever reason there was. So to not give up Bible, to not give up Max, and to give up 2 first-round picks, who cares about picks? We don't need them. I'm gonna be nice today because Tony says be nice to the other people. But the stupidest question at the press conference today was Howard saying bringing up the picks. Who cares, Howard? Who cares? It doesn't matter about those picks. We have young players. We have Isaiah Joe. We have Maxey. We have players that watch on the. We have Shake. Exactly. We have young players that using those draft picks we want to do. So it doesn't matter about those picks. Who cares? We could care less about those picks. They will probably trade those anyway if they needed some other piece later on if we had them. So the picks are irrelevant. So what do we really give up? Seth and Ben. That's what we really gave up in this trade because Drummond had 0 shot of coming back. So stop with we gave up too much stuff. Stop.
I can't agree more, man. I can't. You just and again, I honestly here's what I thought was really, really ingenious, okay? And it's something I didn't even think about. So listen, I listen to everything on the radio. Okay, I really do. I listen to Sirius, I listen to the Fox Sports The Gambler, I listen to WIP, I listen to Fanatic, all that. I listen to that because I like people on every single station, right?
You want to get different
right, absolutely. And I love Ike. So Ike brought up a really good point to that. He said, what's being missed here, not being talked about, is Daryl Morey. From the minute he got here, he wanted to trade Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was traded last year if they would have signed the paper, right? So this, even though Ben had issues and everybody said he wanted to force his way out of here, Nick, Ben wanted to be gone. Daryl wanted to rid himself of Ben as soon as he took over, right?
Whether he wanted to be gone or whether he wanted to stay it's all irrelevant. Yeah, he didn't want to play here, but and for people to come back and say, "Oh, he's going to tear it up in Brooklyn. Wait till you see him. He's going to be an MVP. He's going to be
very well."
Listen, regular season wise, get ready, folks, because he's going to be a part of that team that lights it up. He will absolutely light it up. But is everybody forgetting about playoff Ben? He is an absolute choke artist when it comes to this. He's afraid to shoot the basketball, and he's a 50% free throw shooter. You can't have that and win a championship. You can't. And I don't think. I mean, you guys are the basketball guys, but psychologically, I don't think that ever changes for him. He cannot perform under the big lights. You can see it. It's obvious. That's never going to change. The regular season's a joke for him. It's easy. He's comfortable. He's in the flow. Things are going well. He's got a supporting cast. And then the microscope comes in, and now it's time. Oh, you got to win a 7-game series. Oh, you got to beat the Sixers or you got to beat the Warriors or whoever it is that you're facing in a big game. Guess what? He shrivels up like a prune, and that's not going to change. That is not going to change with him. So for all you guys out there saying, "Oh, he's going to come back," wait till you say, "Yeah, it's going to happen." Get ready, because regular season wise, Brooklyn's going to be just about probably the most unbeatable team in the conference. But you come and talk to all of us in the playoffs, and let's see how he does it. Let's see how he does when we're the ones doing the hack a bit. You know what? We're down 3. But, Ben's got the ball. Get him to the free throw line. I can't wait to see that happen. Roles reverse.
Listen, I can't wait. And who was the guy who asked in the press conference too? Have you been working on your free throw shooting? Did you hear? There were some off the wall questions with that, right? There really was. But I absolutely loved it, Nick. I love what you said because it's so true. It's so true. Okay, listen.
I don't totally agree.
Go ahead, Al. What you got?
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
We're supposed to disagree. We can't all agree with each other.
Listen,
what makes the show fun.
I still, it sucks because I wanted to believe him to that, right? And I'm not trying to get killed for this. I'm not trying to say I don't try, but listen, mental health is a huge deal, man. And he said some things that were very robotic to me. Right? Okay, very robotic. Now what all I would say to Ben is what I say to a lot of people. If this is exactly the way you wanted us to portray you, then why did it take you 5 years to talk about it and a trade to Brooklyn? Right? And what I mean by that is you were always the guy, you showed up to practice, you didn't say a word, you were a distraction. He says it's been going on for a long time. Okay, that's fine. You never commented on, even if you said no comment, you never commented on anything. You chose, as soon as you start getting hit in the pocket, that all of a sudden it was going to come out. Not when you first, why didn't you hold out and say, I'm dealing with some stuff? No. No.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, please.
I knew that was coming up.
Go ahead.
What would people like you say if the playoffs was where he start and he came out and be like, I can't play right now. I'm dealing with something. He would get crushed in this town. They would say, "Oh my God, he's a loser. I don't care if I got a death in the family. I still gotta go to work tomorrow." Or they would make up all of this stuff. The hardworking people in Philly would absolutely smash him for saying that. So remember that when you're saying that. So he couldn't come out.
Yes, he could.
As the playoffs are starting, I'm dealing with something I can't play right now.
Listen, man.
He would get annihilated.
It doesn't. Wait a minute. So what's the difference now? He's getting annihilated now.
I get it.
Okay, so what's the difference?
But you're saying that he wouldn't. Why didn't he come out? Because you would kill him. That's why he didn't come out. So I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, it's fine. But my whole point is, listen, I teach my kids deal with the repercussions, deal with the consequences, right? But at least own up. Don't hide behind walls, don't hide behind mirrors, don't hide behind microphones, right? Adam checking in says Lane Johnson gave out with mental illness, and he came out and took care of it.
Lane Johnson and Brooks are two different. Everybody's different. Everybody isn't going to come out. Like Lane Johnson actually explained it, and Brooks explained what was going on. That they didn't have to say that. The team, when Lane was out those games, didn't say one word. Lane was the one that explained it to everybody and told why he was out and what was going on. He didn't have to get into those details. Ben said, he said exact words is, I was dealing with something and I don't want to disclose it, what it was.
Listen.
On my side of it, I'm thinking, I know what everybody else is thinking. He's a liar and he's a scumbag and he just made that up to get paid and all that. I don't necessarily believe it. I'm in that other side where I don't necessarily believe it. They say it's evidence showing that he's lying. I'm not sure. Just in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. What I will say, okay, if everybody doesn't know, I am a publicist. I run my own PR company. And if you're a head of PR, okay, and you're a publicist and you're a head, you come out and make statements. And Clutch Sports came out and made none of that. You know what the statements they made? Oh, he doesn't like how his coach called him out. He doesn't like how his player called him out. They had a chance to do something, but they chose not to. And let me ask you this, Al, and not to put you on the spot, play devil's advocate here, right? But in all seriousness, if you have a player who's dealing with a mental issue, would you not help him out by deflecting some of the pressure off of him when all of that stuff's being said? You wouldn't devise a statement and say, hey, listen, Ben Simmons is, he's dealing with some things right now. The only person that came out and said anything was Shaquille O'Neal. And the only reason why he said it was because Ben reached out to him personally. So that's why I'm sorry he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. I will never call him a scumbag. I will never say that he's not dealing with anything. I'm just saying, listen, perfect timing. Mikey V, as always, second and says, he will sit out the season unless traded, in quotes. That's what we were told by Mr. Paul. Okay, and that's what
didn't say that.
That was the statement that came out, man.
He never said if he wasn't traded, he wasn't coming back. He never said that.
Yes, he did.
He never said
that was released by Clutch Sports.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, well, it's there.
He might have said it, but I don't remember.
I didn't say Ben Simmons said it.
Never play if he wasn't traded.
His corporate mouthpiece came out and said that. Right?
Let me say this because I was talking to my wife about this. I don't understand. I understand the hatred and the dislike, and they think he's lying. A lot of people in the city, and I hear people screaming on the radio and stuff like that. But in my mind, I can't say one way or the other if he's lying. You can't either. And for you to say he's lying, that is an untrue thing. You can't know what's in another person's mind. You don't know what's really going on. And he hasn't stated what is going on. He just said, I was dealing with an issue. You don't know if it's family related, personal related, his girlfriend, he lost a baby. You don't know what's going on with this man. So you can't say Say, and I speculate, or I think, or in my opinion. But to say is just kind of ridiculous, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm not going to say you say but let me ask you this. Why show up to practice? Why be a distraction? Isn't that messing with your overall psyche even more? So you show up. Why did he show up at a practice? Because he wanted to get paid. Why was he being fined? Because he wasn't there. And then when did he decide that he'd come out and say, I'm having a mental illness issue? Now, it's just the way, and again, right? That's the problem to me.
It doesn't look the greatest. I get it.
So I'm sorry. I guess I stole your thunder, Nick, with that.
Well, here's the one thing, and I just want to set us all back to the events, right? Because me personally, I'm screaming at the TV in the last 5 minutes of the game to get him out of the game. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt at that point, but why was Maxey not in that game? And who is to be held responsible for that? And if that's not the case, do we see the snowball effect of what happened? The pass under the basket never happens. The hack to bend never happens where he's missing all the free throws. You had an opportunity, and guys, it might sound like hindsight, but this is not for me. It's not hindsight. I can't speak for you guys, but the man should have been at least had reduced minutes, in my opinion, when it came down to crunch time. When you could see it developing.
Yep.
You could see it developing, and maybe
I don't know.
maybe you guys are a little more analytical than me, and that's why you're
I don't know if you can
disagreeing.
do that
But
because simple things can happen that could change a game. A steal, a tip pass, anything. So I get what you're saying because you could tell his head wasn't right and things wasn't going good. Let's go a different way. But you also got to remember Doc is a veteran coach, and he's going to play the vets before he plays the rookie. And that's what he was. That's what Mac.
Right or wrong.
He's just going to ride it out. He would never do that. And he's not going to put a younger player in that.
But if your job as a leader
is to the kid, because then if the kid is not going there, then why'd you have him in there?
But at the end of the day, the job of the head coach, the job of the general manager, the job of a leader is to produce.
I get it.
At all costs, your job is you're out there to win basketball and win a championship.
Right.
And that's it, period. End of story.
Right.
It doesn't matter. When you're in business, it doesn't matter whose feelings you're hurting. Your job is to get the job
done. Absolutely.
And there's a lot that doesn't come down to Rivers and all of this that has transpired. But in my opinion, I would like to know, Tone, what were you like when you were watching the end of those last two? Put yourself back in.
Came on after
because I don't want this to be hindsight to the rest of the people that are watching this. I want this to be. This is what we were thinking when this was all snowball.
No. Listen. Let me get to a couple comments. I'm going to completely answer that question because it's going to be exactly what you think, right? So Dan checks in, says Ben also mentioned at the presser issues have been going on a few years. Then why sign a 4-year deal? Also, well, hold on. And Dan says, good point. A guy having trouble making 6-foot putts on the PGA Tour does not have mental health issues, just confidence issues. Same with Ben and his shooting. Okay, a little different. But here's what's great. My man Mikey checking in, as always. Michael Valero checking in says, he looked this up for us. Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report on the Dunked On podcast. The Sixers are still hoping that after the trade deadline comes and goes, maybe Ben will come back and play. But someone I talked to with Clutch yesterday says not a chance. Okay? So all this view of this was all a constructed and a complete sham, in my opinion. Okay? And again, you know what the shame of this is, though, Al? That if it was, and this is my gut feels that it was, that why would he want it to be looked upon as that? If he's really serious about getting help and being and not being portrayed as this kind of person, then why wouldn't he really get help? Why wouldn't he really go seek something? Oh, see, these are the problems. Wait, hold on. No, he didn't. He was he was at basketball games hanging with his new fiance. He was getting tatted up. He was hold on. No. Listen, if you're dealing with mental health issues and Ben said today, I'm in a deep, dark place. Well, then guess what, man? Guess what, partner? If you're in a deep, dark place, well, then you need to be dealing with it professionally, not living out the glory life. That's all I'm saying, man. Like you have to take care of it. And listen, I don't wish the guy any ill will. I don't. I still think he could be a tremendous player if he puts his mind to it. I just think that today did not help me feel as though, well, I feel really sorry for Ben. Because it felt like he was reading off a teleprompter and he was trained very well for that press conference. Now, to get to what Nick said, what I will say, Nick, is I watched the first series when they were hacking the crap out of Ben. And I was like, in the Washington series, right? And I'm like, this is going to be a problem. He's not working on it. This is going to be a problem. So as a coach, and me being a coach too, I'm thinking, I need to change this up. Did they change it up? No. And then when you went to the Atlanta series and Louis Pierce on the other side looks and says, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay back and give Ben 20 feet and say, go ahead, Ben, have fun. You're not going to do anything. As a head coach on the other side, I'd be like, I got to get this guy out of here. I got to limit his minutes because no matter what, I need to do better than this. I need to give a different look, and I need to have some respect. And right at that point, they were getting zero respect from that team. So again, just my opinion. I just think something could have been and should have been done. Now today, Now today, Ben, this is the curious part. The curious part is we all know that Ben and Joe did not get along. We finally know that. And a lot of this stemmed from jealousy, in my opinion, from Ben. Ben did not like that Joe was the franchise. Ben wanted to be the franchise, but he didn't want to play like the franchise. He wanted to be treated like the franchise. And when Joe started getting that treatment, Ben didn't like it. So he crawled off his little ball and he went home, right? And Joe seen that, right? And Joe seen that, right? So again, for all you people, so this was today, Ben on Joel asking about, hey, did you talk to Joe? Did you talk to me on the team? This is what Ben had to say. And listen, the end of that, did you speak with Joel? No, I did not. Right. So he cemented what we've already known. Right. We already know. We seen the image that Joe put out. Joe was a troller, right? Which we love Joe about that. And the best was when he was asked, and he was like, "Yeah, I just saw a guy in a nice suit. He looked kind of nice. I put the picture up there, right?" I mean, listen, I think you can officially say that Ben Simmons is dead to Joel Embiid, right? So, at the end of the day, I really think that those two going forward will never speak, never speak. And did you happen to see Al in that when they asked him about the 10th? What was his answer? They asked him about March 10th.
He said maybe.
Yeah, right.
He said I'm hoping to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think by then,
not a chance.
I think he'll be back by then. Playing. What will happen? Who knows? Because he has got to know. Once he steps on the court, and I'm just talking about if it's a 7 o'clock game and he's on the court at 5:30, he is going to hear it. I mean, they're going to whip his face off worse than any person coming into the stadium, into the big house that I've ever seen. I mean, it's going to be worse than Dallas Cowboys fans coming in to the link. I mean, they're going to have to beef up security. So whatever the security is going to have to be double time for that game. Wow, it's going to be a madhouse for that game if he's playing.
I know. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to spend a lot of money for that game. I think they're going to be sadly mistaken. I think that's like, if you look at their schedule too, it's like 2 out of 3 games or something. Like, so you know that he's not playing in that game. There's no way he's playing in that game. So
you think they'll sit him that game?
Yeah. He'll have like a hammy tweak or something like that. There's something going on. So what do you take away from the Harden press conference? And here's what I want to ask. Well, here's what I want to ask you though. It's going to be an interesting dynamic, right? So now you have Tyrese Maxey as your point guard. So I think it's pretty interesting to say that Tyrese Maxey now becomes a bench player, right? And here's why. Oh, hold on. Right away, you just want to throw it out there. You haven't even listened, okay? So you haven't even listened. So you need a primary ball handler coming off the bench. And right now, you do not have one. So what better way than to have Tyrese Maxey running your second unit? That doesn't mean he can't play 25 to 30 minutes. What that means is he runs your second unit now. And now James Harden is going to be the guy who brings the ball up the court, just like he's done in past. Okay? I really feel because Tyrese Maxey will accept that role. Tyrese Maxey wants to win, right? So I think if you look at it, I think that's the move. I think you make him the sixth man.
You have to put Danny Green in.
Exactly. Right now.
Or Shade. But again, the veteran is going to go before the younger player when we're talking about that.
Yes.
So that would be your strategy. Use him as a 6, which you could do.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to do that, but you could absolutely do that. And I was thinking about that, but then
So what would you do? You keeping him in there?
see what I would do is I was thinking about a couple of different things, but so Joe normally comes out at the 3, and they're getting smashed right now, by the way.
By Boston of all teams too.
Because they're just shooting horribly and Boston's on fire. So it could change around in the second half because Boston's shooting a real high percentage. But you could do that, and I was about to say Joe comes out about the 2 to 3 minute mark. All right, so now you got to think, when does Harden come out? You always know when Embiid's coming out 2 to 3 minutes. When does Harden come out? Because
I don't know.
When Harden comes out, you got to have Tyrese on the court. So if you have Tyrese on the court and Harden's coming out, and then you're not taking Tyrese off the court until Harden comes back, that's the issue. So you got to stagger it some way. Obviously we'll have to start seeing the game so we can figure that out, and that's not going to be to the 25th to see what the strategy would be. So if you that is really going to depend on when you take Harden out. Do you really want Harden and Embiid out at the same time? Not really. So it's going to really depend on how he staggers it. But you could go that way and take Tyrese and have him coming in and on that 6-man, and then play them, like you said, 25 to 30 minutes, and then they'll all be on the court at a certain point anyway, and definitely at the end of the game. And then you got more Danny Green catch and shoots instead of Danny Green doing all this stuff that he had to do. Because he wasn't catching and shooting as much as he should have been. He was running around off the screen. He is straight catch and shoot. He's doing way too much than he should be. And Korkmaz has had to do too much because we haven't had a second point guard. He's a catch and shoot guy. Ben was getting him in the right spot, catching and shooting, and that's all he really designed to do.
Well, we all know that the buyout market is coming. Okay, so the veteran buyout market is coming. There's a couple people on that list that quite possibly I think can really, really help this team. I think we get at least 2 players, in my opinion. I know Doc was trying to be the admirable one today. He said, yeah, we got Charles Bassey, we got Paul Reed. I get it, Doc. I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got it. Right? I get it. But yeah. I mean, so there's going to be some moves, man. I'll tell you what, boys. I would love some Gordon Dragic. He's on the market,
right? He already got bought out earlier today.
He did. So he's available.
Market. I like Bembry.
Oh, Bembry would be a great play.
Milwaukee's got their hands all over him already. They should have already been in contact with Bembry and bringing him in. I don't know why they didn't think that would be a nice piece. He does a little bit of everything. And that would be a very nice piece.
Mike says he thinks he's going to Dallas.
Who?
Bembry. Or Dragic. Maybe he's talking about Dragic.
Yeah, they've been talking about Dallas. Plus, he likes I'm forgetting his name. Luka. He loves Luka.
Oh yeah, they're both in the same mold too. So
that I don't know why he wants to go to Dallas, but he did. I've been hearing a lot of rumors. So, I mean, we got some things that can happen. We got till March 1st to do it.
Yeah.
Whoever is going to be on your playoff roster has to be on there by March 1st, or they can't play in the playoffs. So we got some work to do. It's got to be the right pieces. The people obviously got to want to play here, and we got to see what they're going to do. I don't know why they haven't got Cantor. He's perfect for this team.
Cantor, I would love Cantor.
Tough. He can't block any shots, but he's going to rebound and he's going to take some fouls. He's not going to just let somebody just lay the ball up. He needs some little toughness like that. Cantor's perfect for this team. I don't know why they haven't grabbed him yet. I don't know if they're trying to formulate a plan. Like Tristan Thompson would be good too. He's not as tall as Cantor, but I would take him too. You need those type of guys that's going to just go out there and give him 10 minutes a game, to 10 to 12 a game, and he's just going to do what he does and then go back and sit on the bench and not complain. That's what you need.
You definitely need that. 100%. So this is, I mean, this roster that we see right now is not final.
No.
I think we all agree with that, right? We all agree with that.
I would love a 3-and-D too. Now, There's not that many 3 and Ds out there, but I would take a nice 3 and D.
A 3 and D or a double D? Yeah, I'll just say.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, we don't like the hay here. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it out there. But
You know what? To be honest, nobody wants to hear this, but I think next year we're gonna be stocked and loaded. Because I think you already had your roster, and then you'll figure out I'm gonna add this and I'm gonna add that, and then we're gonna come out like gangbusters next year.
I love it.
So I think we're gonna take our best shot this year, but I think next year is the year all in. I mean, you're gonna see people coming here that probably be like, "Damn, he wants to play in Philly." Yep. You're gonna see people taking veteran minimums to come here. We're gonna be loaded. I don't know who's gonna be left after next year. You know, you obviously thought you were going to Maxey, but I don't know if Shake's gonna be here. I don't know if Isaiah Joe's gonna be here.
Kobe's still on the contract, right? He is going to be here. Harris.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
he ain't going anywhere.
I can see us moving a little bit younger players to get some older veterans to come in here for the right type of deal. So it's really going to be interesting next year what this roster is going to be like. You already know certain people are going to be there. But what about the other people that don't really play as much? And maybe the Cork Miles might not be
Yeah, I'm crying about
sure
that.
A lot of people would love.
Yeah,
So
me too.
It's really going to be interesting next year.
So, listen, let's do this. So we beat that to a horse, right? We know what we want. We're happy. I think somebody said it earlier. It might have been Alan said, "Listen, both teams made out in this deal. They both got something they needed, right?" So, it'll be interesting. Hopefully, we meet in the playoffs so we can battle it out there. But let's end the show on this. I know we end on certain things. We had a lot of technical difficulties tonight. It happens. No big deal, right? We appreciate everybody bearing with us. Not a problem. But let's just end with talking about. We'll bring us right back to the Super Bowl, and we talk about the halftime show because we kind of went with this halftime show a little bit. We'll revisit the name of the franchise next week. We'll talk about the universal DH in Major League Baseball for whenever they end that lockout. We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and where he gets on that MVP, double MVP back to back. So we'll do a top 5 on the Mount Rushmore list when we talk about quarterbacks of all time. See if he's on that top 5 and where he's at. But let's just talk about the halftime show. And the reason why I want to talk about the halftime show, I think it's a good way to segue us out of here because, listen, that was my childhood, right? And I said it all the time. Like, I was so looking forward to seeing that halftime show. And no disrespect to everybody because back in the day, like, JT killed it for the halftime show. Right? Bruno Mars, Beyonce. I mean, even, listen, say what you want, but Katy Perry didn't do a bad job either, right? The bands that have played have killed it. The Weeknd was terrible, right? But this year, it finally took everything and it brought it into one, which is great for me. I was just the only thing I would say, guys, number one, I love the 50 cent surprise.
Yeah. 50 cent bonus.
Yeah, little 50 cent bonus. The 50 looks like, I don't know if he was pounding the Wendy's or pounding the, yeah, he was, 50 was looking a little blown up, so to speak. But but I was hoping, number one, that we would have got a little different on the song selection a little bit, right? I would have liked to see Snoop go back a little bit. I'd like to see M play a little more than 8 Mile, and I would have loved the Queen of Soul, Mary J. I was really hoping that we would see a guest Little Kim appearance come out there, or even a Method Man appearance come out there, right? Like, like when I seen 50, I was getting excited. I was like, oh, yo, Kim or Meth coming out. I could feel it. I could see it. And right? Oh, it would have went great.
They should have had Ice Cube as a surprise, too.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been great, too.
With a smidgen of NWA.
Yes.
Yeah, you waste that whole opportunity.
I know.
Whole opportunity to do that.
I was thinking the whole time. Didn't seem like it went quick.
It did go quick. Yeah. It did go quick. It did. I think I'll tell you what, man. Snoop was still banging out the moves up there too, man. You know what I mean? Like it was so nice. And
I thought it should have been Who Am I though when he came out.
Well, it should have been what?
Who was it? Who am I?
Yes.
His first hit.
My name is what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. That was the Marshall. It wasn't Marshall Mathers LP. It was I think it was My Name Is, wasn't it?
No, you're talking not Eminem. I'm talking about Snoop.
Oh, you're talking about Snoop. Oh, What's My Name?
What's my name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
Well, they got away from the whole doggy style portrayal, right?
Still, that would have been killer.
Oh, yeah, man.
And opened up the right way though too. Him with Dre just back there, like
yes,
right behind the DJ stand, like where he first
the song selection.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
Right,
What do you guys think? I'm not.
Even the song that Mary did, I was just like, why did they pick that?
Yo, man, Dan
Like
Green. He says Mary J had those Danny Green heavy legs, man. Come on, Dan. That's that Queen of Soul, babe. What's wrong with that?
Fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. And how about Adam with the Ace in the Hole comment? I was thinking the same thing. Hologram Tupac would have been awesome.
You know what? And I heard rumors that they were going to do that.
Well, remember he started playing I Ain't Mad At You on the piano.
Right.
So I was like, yo, all right, here we go. Nothing.
Or maybe they planned to and it didn't work.
Yeah, maybe it didn't work. Maybe it didn't work, but
they had a lot going on.
They did.
Upstairs, downstairs,
They
one
did.
side, the other side. I mean, there was a lot going on. Some very easily can happen that throws something off, and they had to keep on going with it.
I tell you what though, this may not be a great comment. People are not like it, but I could have done without Kendrick Lamar, to be honest with you. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan.
LA, though.
I hear
He's
you,
LA,
but
so that's why
it didn't go though. It didn't go. It served no purpose to me. Like you were going all old school, and then all of a sudden you go Kendrick Lamar, and everybody was kind of like,
I think that's
all
they
right.
was trying to get the younger crowd.
Maybe. I don't think it worked.
Because you got all the old school stuff, and you bring it back with the younger crowd.
Right.
And it was LA, so the combination of both.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Adam says, I'm going to end on this. Adam says, I wanted more Slim Shady. I wanted more Slim Shady as well.
And you know what? Another thing I read today, that everybody was supposed to get 2 songs, but when they threw 50 in there,
that messed it all up.
Everything up. It messed everybody up. So I mean,
that made it.
Obviously,
they needed him there.
I think when you got Dr. Dre and Eminem there, you had to have 50.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the whole nucleus, man.
Yeah, you had to do that.
It would have been great. I would have liked to see. Talk about hologram of Pac. What about 2 holograms? One of Biggie, one of Pac. That would have really kind of brought us back, man. You know what I mean?
East Coast, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he wouldn't have meshed with that at all.
This ain't Suge Knight. This ain't Death Row.
They would have wiped him out again. The hologram would have got wiped out. What are you doing on our turf, Biggie? Hologram Biggie, go get hologram Biggie.
Big classic, coast to coast, man. You could have hit the going back to Cali on them real quick.
Oh, yo.
I'll get a little surprised.
I hear the little Bone Thugs out there, had little Notorious Thugs going on as well. You know what I mean?
Going back to Cali would have been good. If LL got one of those cars,
yo.
How about the Rock being on there? The Rock surprised me.
I loved it.
But
how much do you think he worked out before he got
Oh my God!
For like 2 hours?
How did Rock do all that talking, but he didn't hit the smell what the Rock was cooking? I thought that was coming at the end.
Well, he did the finally part.
No, but
he
say to smell what the Rock is cooking.
I know, man. I think it was one or the other, so he had to do the finally, man. But he just looks like if you take a pin and poke him, he's just gonna burst. Like he is really juiced up, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But look, we're going to end this as well. Thanks for everybody listening. Sorry again for the technical difficulties to get this figured out. Sometimes things happen and you just can't do nothing about it. Right. Live TV, it happens. What we push through, as always. So everybody checking in, as always, fantastic. Make sure you follow us at Heat Ratio Sports. Subscribe on any iTunes. Drop us a review. We greatly appreciate it. Everything's podcasted at Heat Ratio Sports on iTunes, iHeart, you name it, Google Play, wherever you get your time. Smash the like button, hit the subscription. We'll be back here again at Steam Pub. We want to thank Prime Roofing. We want to thank National Bobblehead Museum, as always. But again, your fans, the support. So We'll get out of here on a Tuesday. We're going to see if maybe the Sixers can come back here in the second half. They'll make it interesting, I'm sure. But as always, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you next week.